What's up, YouTube family? This is Keeping It Real Politics, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about Joe Biden saying you ain't black. Oh boy, here we go. For those who may not know, Joe Biden, who is the presumptive Democrat nominee for the President of the United States of America this November, recently went on the Breakfast Club and was interviewed by Charlemagne the God. And in what was basically a contentious interview, at the very end, Charlemagne basically asked Joe Biden flat out, why should black voters vote for you? And Joe Biden, his only answer, rather than talk about substantive policy, was basically to say that, well, if you don't vote for me over Donald Trump, then you ain't black. Now, there's so many things to unpack on that statement, not the least of which Joe Biden is an almost 80-year-old white man who is in no position to tell anybody what is and is not black. Okay, let's just start there. Next, we've got the fact that Joe Biden is the architect of the 1994 crime bill, which has locked up an indiscriminate number of black males. So there are many reasons why black people would have pause with him. And then he really loves to talk about how he was Barack Obama's VP and how he did all these great things with Barack Obama. Well, guess what? That time has passed. Because at the end of the day, if your time with Barack Obama was as great as it was, Hillary Clinton would have had no problem winning in 2016. But there was a pushback against Barack Obama and your presidency and vice presidency because that's the only reason to explain how somebody like Donald Trump is able to be president. Because there's no other valid reason. Donald Trump, there are many different things you could say bad about Donald Trump, and we're not going to necessarily talk about him in this video. But at the end of the day, the reality is you have to sell yourself as a politician to why should people vote for you. And if your only argument is that, well, I am not the other guy, go fish. No, that is not a valid reason. And furthermore, Joe Biden, if the assumption is that you're a racist, well, I mean, there's plenty of different things we can use to point to. Again, we already talked about the whole fact you were over the crime bill, which has locked up a lot of black men. We can also talk about how you spoke the eulogy for Strom Thurmond, who was a staunch racist and always was a staunch racist. We can talk about how you've always tried to buddy up with the segregationist politicians as you've been in office for almost 50 years. So you try to be buddy with those people, and you tout that. You use that as a selling point. Well, I was able to talk to the segregationists, and they never called me boy, so I had no problem with them, right? So Joe Biden, who is a senile old man, wants black people to vote for him because he's not Donald Trump. Sorry, Joe Biden, but no, that's not enough. You need to have substantive policy. And actually, Diddy actually recently came out and got, he got some pushback, but at the end of the day, he said he's willing to hold the black vote hostage this year unless we get tangibles. But at the end of the day, that's what voting is. Voting is a quid pro quo. What are you going to do for me? And it's not good enough to say, well, Joe Biden also tried to say, well, I helped extend voting rights 25 years. Okay, and what have you done for me lately, though? Right? To say that you've extended voting rights 25 years, okay, so the end of 25 years, now then what? So black folks not going to be able to vote again? Is that how we're doing it? You want to use that as a justification for why black folks should vote for you? Absolutely not. So to wrap up this episode of Keeping It Real Politics, 2020 is turning out to be a replay of 2016, where you have two unlikable candidates, and it's basically saying hold your nose, pick one, and let the chips fall where they may. And it's a testament to the fact that the two-party system needs to die, and needs to die like yesterday. This idea that America is supposed to be the shining beacon of democracy, and we have such a great political system, but yet we continuously have two crappy options to choose from every single year is unacceptable. So my challenge to everybody is this: if you do not like the system that we have, the system of governing that we have right now, it is your responsibility to not only look at third-party candidates, but if you have better options, run for public office yourself. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be a better person. Allow the people to see what true change looks like. That'll wrap up today's episode of Keeping Real Politics. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Joe Biden was right in saying you ain't black if you don't vote for me? Or do you think that's insulting? That's ridiculous. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, keep it real.